Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pierre-Nicolas Hurstel. I'm CEO and co-founder at Arianee.
So hello everyone, nice to meet you. Frédéric Montagnon, I'm chairman and co-founder of Arianee. Do we have two mics? No? Oh,
Yes,
okay, perfect. So thanks for attending. So at the end of the day, what we are doing is we want to decentralize the internet, maybe not everything, but at least some parts very sensitive of the internet. And there are two paths to do it, whether we build a product from scratch, let's say DeFi is this kind of strategy, or there is another path, which is just saying that the internet, the business model of the internet can evolve to something more decentralized. So we choose the second path. And the very early days of Arianee, so back in 2017, was definitely starting with the idea of we want to be a part of this movement. We want to find the more efficient way to decentralize the internet. Well, we'll work with the brands that are already working on a digital environment, and we want to provide them with technologies that can give them more digital sovereignty for them and for the customer. And when you think about it, probably the easiest way and the fastest way to put technologies in the hand of very random users is not to make them learn how to use it, but more to address problems that brands already have, because those brands have the connection with their customer and the trust of their customer. So we decided to go for it and to see, okay, what can we solve for this brand? What can we solve in terms of client relation application? Just because this is a business model of the internet. Facebook, Google, all these companies make more than 95% of their revenue with advertising. Advertising is all about client relation. So how can we fix the way brands are addressing the client relation and making it more decentralized?
So what do? We do digital twins. What is a digital twin? It's basically an NFT, an ERC-721, enriched with 8 smart contracts constituting the Arianee protocol. A digital twin is going to be issued by a brand, a manufacturer, who produces what we could call a durable good or a sustainable good. What is a sustainable good? It's a good that lasts, that can be repaired, which value can increase or remain substantial during its life, and that can have a second life that is better than just recycling. And so what are we going to do with this digital twin? The manufacturer or the brand is going to issue this digital twin, mint the NFT using the Arianee protocol, create the metadata that is attached to it. Then, during the life of the product, this information can be read by stakeholders. And in the life of a durable good, there's a lot of need for interoperability. A repair center, an insurance provider, anyone across the life of the good who could want to read this information. Then what happens is that these people, when relevant, are able to write inside the NFT. So we have a specific smart contract allowing to add events inside the life of the NFT. So these events are time-stamped. They come with their own metadata, a JSON file that is generated when the event is created. And then, obviously, this digital twin can be transferred at the end of the life of the product to the second-hand owner, to the recycler, anyone. And so with these basic features, creating, writing, transferring, and with the possibility to tokenize millions of goods like that, you create a kind of data infrastructure on top of which the apps can be created. C2C resale, insurance, good by good, repair, like creative rental and repair services. So that's exactly what is the Arianee protocol.
So one example of what we can do, you probably use objects. OpenSea, I'm not talking about OpenSea here, but all this, this marketplace where you can just put a price, put an offer to someone who owns an NFT. So well, we put things on chain. So that means that virtually we are connecting a product in a digital environment, which means that we open the possibility to application and to feature that doesn't exist in real life. You can say, okay, I want to buy this watch limited series, I don't know, and I will just post an information that I'm willing to buy this watch for a specific price. This is something that you can do just because the inventory is online, is on chain. So this kind of feature, you can do it.
Imagine that today there are enough garments on the planet for 9 generations. You could dress 9 generations without producing a new one. Imagine if tomorrow, when you're looking for a garment, you can just search online and you have access to the entire inventory, existing and already produced, and just placed an offer. And imagine if you have this beautiful T-shirt of the TezDev 2024, and it becomes hot in 2027, and you just receive an offer and you just forgot about it. Now, talk about garments, and we started with Arianee in the luxury sector. We work with 10 of the top 30 watch brands. We'll come back to that, but all Panerai watches, Jaeger-LeCoultre, they all have a digital twin minted on the Arianee protocol. But where else can we go? What other durable goods have the same challenges? Think about appliances. Where do you have the manual? Where is the invoice? How easy it is to start a repair? If the repair is made, where is it recorded? If a new repair guy comes, how does he know how it was repaired last time? And the day you want to put that back in the system because you're going to change it, what happens? Today, 8 million, just right in France, 8 million white goods like this are trashed every year, generating huge amounts of waste. Can we make that different by making this product last longer, making the information accessible easily? So that's the second big vertical on which we are working with very cool new things that we will announce, and we'll come back to that on Etherlink by the end of the year. So that's how it looks like. Okay, here I'm just going to show you a couple examples of what is a digital twin for a fashion garment. You have here on the left the Montclair digital twin. For a handbag, you have here in the middle the Mugler handbag, and it's real. Huh? All of that is like live. We're not talking about a project. An example of a watch. So this is the only one, and that's the funny one because we have like 10 live watch brands, but we choose a false one for the example. I don't know why. And then here an example also of what it could do for the journey of a repair of a heating system or the digital passport of a heating system. So here, obviously, we showcase the front. We don't do the front. We do the smart contracts. Every single brand, every single retailer is going to be able to build the journey that they want, the services that they want. But it's just for you to feel that this is absolutely real, that this is material.
So now the good and bad news. So we will talk about regulation. So generally speaking, when we talk about regulation in the Web3 space, we are not very eager to think that it's positive. But there's upcoming regulation, eco-design for sustainable products. The idea behind this regulation is to say we want to create the framework to make the product last longer. So this is something that is designed right now in Brussels for the whole Europe. And it's going to be live in 2027, and it will be mandatory for every single product by 2030. The idea is to create this framework, and one of the sub-regulation of this regulation is digital product passport regulation that will make mandatory attaching digital information to every single product on the European market. So this is an incredible opportunity because that means that all the brands will have to move forward with technology. We are not saying that everything will have to put on chain, but for sustainable product, there are very interesting features and value proposition when it comes to putting this information on chain. The dark side of that is that means that in terms of data, collecting data onto customers, of course the regulator wants to have more transparency onto who owns what, where does this product come from, etc., etc. So this is where definitely having the ability to create an infrastructure that is not centralized, that is more respectful of user data, and where we can demonstrate that, of course, we have transparency, but also we respect privacy, is just key. So this regulation for us is one of the next big thing, just because that will create an opportunity to rebuild or to build from scratch, by the way, an infrastructure for all the data related to circularity. And this is exactly what we are talking about. For billion of products, and we remember that we are 450 million people in Europe, and this kind of regulation generally is rolled out everywhere else. Think about GDPR. GDPR started, so data privacy and respecting of user data started in Europe, and now exists in most of the countries in the world.
So this is not our target, but the people using this protocol. That means that we have 50 global brands who every day produce goods, and when the good is out of the manufacturer, they mint an NFT on a public blockchain, and when they sell this good to their user, they attach a public key to their client account and give them this NFT. So this is really happening. If you go today to a Panerai store, a Breitling store, a Montclair store, you will have the opportunity to live this experience. So what that means is that it is possible today, right away, to make this technology something that concerns everyone, that can transform retail experiences, that can support the goals for a better world, more sustainable and more circular, while offering the possibility to people and brands to finally control their data. In terms of numbers, this is where we are.
So this is the activity on the protocol in terms of minting. So the scale is not very easy to read, but we reached really recently 2 million products. So 2 million products mean that brands have created on the protocol 2 million NFTs that represent for each NFT a product. And this NFT represents the ownership of the product. It can be a demonstration of the origin of the product. So this is a curve we have. So in the early days, of course, we were developing the protocol, obviously. And now we are reaching a point where it's not proof of concept anymore. So, I mean, the brand we work with, they are rolling out this protocol and the integration of the protocol for the whole production of product they have. So this is where we are. And, of course, we are accelerating. The time frame for us is very long. When you talk to a brand, there are physical aspects of the implementation that makes quite a friction to deploy the application in the end of consumer. But we have a very clear view onto what's next, just with the brand we just showcased before. What that means is that we are actually providing brands with a tooling to create a new graph. A graph where you have the brands, the product, the users, clients. So our message for you is, first of all, and we'll talk about what we are doing with Tezos right after, but we are providing assets that are generated by real brands who want to have more utility. They already build utility. But I mean, it's an opportunity to use new kind of data and to build new application, client-facing, with people that really own products, and we want to have new opportunities, new application with their product. I give you just an example. With all the product we mentioned, an insurance in one click is very easy to build. You know exactly where the product is coming from. You know exactly the model. You know how long the product was in the hand of one user. So you can just calculate the insurance cost that you want to offer to a customer. This kind of thing, but we can also imagine a lot of other things. We have some developers who already built some social application. As an example, IWC, so the watchmaker, they built just a forum, token-gated forum for their customer to access to a conversation. And if you don't have the watch, you are not invited to be a part of the conversation.
So the protocol is open source, open access, and open for any DApp development to propose services to this growing number of people equipped with these NFTs. So The fun thing about us, and we heard this morning that the blockchain, thanks to Etherlink, is going to be more scalable, less expensive. It can become the new cloud of the internet. Well, we saw that very early on. This is an extract of our white paper that we wrote in 2017. And at this time, we were considering, are we going to go on ETH or are we going to go on Tezos? And for a couple of reasons, we decided to move on to Ethereum. But the first moment when we saw that Tezos was developing an EVM-compatible technology, we were among the first already on the testnet. Our devs last year at HCC were already working with the team from Nomadic to start playing with this and building the very first and minting the very first NFTs on the alpha deployment on the test Etherlink. Then a year later, we were among the first to deploy on the mainnet. And the thing is, there was a funny story with the team working on it. When we play with a blockchain, like we start by minting 10 or 20K NFTs, you know, it's like normal for us. Like it's like big volume. So they were like, oh, what are you doing? It's you know, so the way we use this is an industrial way. And the response from Etherlink has been amazing from day one. Now, what's next?
So what's next? We just want to use Etherlink to roll out our new cases with new brands. And by the way, we used to have an idea of using layers as, okay, we don't know where we are going to. So scalability is not ready yet. I'm talking about some years ago. So we just design everything to make sure that we can switch from a layer to another. But of course, you can imagine that bridging, creating snapshots is not very efficient and it's quite risky. So now we think that we are fine with Etherlink, the perfect match for what we are gonna build. And I was very happy to see the keynote from Hurstel this morning with the level of TPS that are in target for the ecosystem, because we think that, okay, we should be at the same place for every single brand. So first of all, we are rolling out our first use case with some brands as soon as possible. And the second step is, of course, to get all the brands that we have, and we showed on the last slide, to just put them all over to Etherlink to make sure that it's easy to build application that can be cross brands, because you can imagine that if you connect the ability to play with digital product passport coming from different brands, you can imagine the value proposition for brands to be able to partner with their customer base without sharing the identity of the people behind.
So really, our goal is to bring to Tezos a new universe where basically we're opening to hundreds of thousands, millions of people, my sister, my mother, your friends, people who will probably never do DeFi, who might not be either gamer nor art collectors, but who have a watch, an oven, a car. And what we want is to equip them with the best Web3 technology, using the most scalable and economically and also environmentally efficient layer that is on the market, which is Etherlink. So we are Pierre-Nicolas Hurstel and Fred Montagnon. This is our socials, arianee.org if you want to know more. And it was a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.